Okay, guys, so I've got B for you. B is discussing Illinois' um, assisted dying bill. So we're going to get into that for B. So please join me in today's B's discussion, please. Here we go. Headline refers to a sharply worded statement by Bishop Thomas John Paprocki from the Diocese of Springfield in Illinois, who denounced the passage of Senate Bill 1950 legislation that would legalize physician assisted dying for terminally ill adults in the state. His use of the term pro death legislators was not just rhetorical flourish, but a deliberate moral indictment rooted in Catholic uh, doctrine and aimed at a galvanizing opposition to the bill. Bishop Paprocki's framing pro death as a moral and cultural uh, critique. Theological foundation. The Catholic Church holds that life is sacred from conception to natural death. Assisted dying, even for those suffering from terminal illnesses, is viewed as a violation of divine law and human dignity. Bishop Paprocki's phrase pro death reflects this worldview, contrasting it with what the church calls a culture of life. Give me 1 second, guys. Strategic provocation. By labeling lawmakers as pro death, Paprocki sought to provoke moral outrage and mobilize Catholic constituents. The phrase invokes a stark binary life uh, versus death, uh, virtue, various moral future. or failure, intended to pressure elected officials and influence public opinion, political signaling. This statement was part of a coordinated campaign by Catholic leaders and pro-life organizations to urge Governor J.B. Pitzer to veto the bill. It wasn't just a theological critique. It was a political maneuver designed to halt the legislation before it became law. Legislative details. What Senate Bill 1950 proposes. Eligibility criteria. The bill allows adult Illinois residents diagnosed with terminal illnesses and a prognosis of 6 months or less to request life-ending medications. Patients must be mentally competent and capable of self-administering drugs. Safeguards to prevent coercion or impulsive decisions. The bill includes procedural checks to verbal requests spaced at least 15 days apart, a written request with a confirmation by 2 physicians. There's also a mandatory waiting period and documentation requirements. Legislative drama. The bill passed the Illinois Senate in the early hours of October 31st by a razor-thin margin, 30 votes, the minimum needed. This followed earlier approval by the House, setting the stage for a high-stakes decision by the governor. The timing and narrow vote margin intensified backlash from religious and conservative groups. Fallout and next steps. Faith-based mobilization. After the bill's passage, Catholic dioceses across Illinois launched public appeals, prayer vigils, and media campaigns urging Governor Pitzer to veto legislation. They argued that legalizing assisted dying would normalize suicide and undermine palliative care efforts. Governor's decision window. Under Illinois law, the governor has a limited period to sign or veto the bill. If he takes no action, the bill could become law. by default. This deadline added urgency to advocacy efforts on both sides of the debate. Broader implications. Illinois would join a growing number of states, including Oregon, California, and Colorado, that have legalized medical aid dying. Supporters argue it offers compassionate choice and autonomy for the terminally ill. While opponents warn of ethical erosion and potential abuse, this moment in Illinois reflects a national tension between involving norms around end of life care and deeply rooted religious and moral convictions. Bishop Paprocki's statement is emblematic of how faith leaders are navigating and resisting these shifts in public policy. Okay, guys, the reason why I did this one for B is because me in end of life care, I've been following this for a couple months now. So I decided to do an updated show about this for y'all. So for now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.